Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. Ooh, I hope you're doing better than I am because I'm falling off my chair. Okay, so I was looking through one of my old journals. It's this one. And I wanted to do this little cutie pie. And it's real simple. It goes like this. And then this flips out. And I'm sure you all have made them before. But I decided I wanted to make one, or maybe two, depending on time. But I wanted to show you how to do it. So first things first. You need a piece of paper. Any paper. It doesn't matter. But you need it to cut. Now my paper is 8.5 inches tall. Okay. So I cut my piece of paper 6.5 inches tall. Okay. My base paper is just a 8.5 by 11 that I folded in half. So the paper I'm decorating on is 6.5 inches tall and 12 inches long. Okay, that's my base page. That's all it is. Okay, so after I did that, each section is 4 inches because it's 12 inches long. So I want it in thirds. So each section is 4 inches. Okay. After you do that, you're going to measure. You're going to find your fold. Okay. And you're going to measure from your fold. Now, you're going to need your ruler for this. And you're going to measure from your fold until you find 5.5. Okay. From your fold, you're going to measure down to 5.5. And it's going to be at an angle. See how I'm at an angle? And then you're going to draw a line. See how I'm at an angle? And then you're going to draw a line. And then you're going to take your handy dandy scissors. And you're going to cut that. Just like this. I told you it was easy. And you should end up right at your fold. Just like that. And then you're going to take that piece and you're going to match it up over here. And you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to take your pencil. You're going to line it up nice and neat. Nice and neat. Make sure it lines up well. Okay? You don't want it over the fold. You want it right there before the fold. And then you're going to follow your line up. And then you're going to cut that one also. Now, this basically is a fold that we've done many, many times for a pocket. Okay? We've done this many times for a pocket. You end up with this pocket. That's what you end up with. Okay? So, don't throw these away because we're going to use them. So, you're going to take one of these and you're going to use it out front for a pocket. Like that. Okay? So, that's going to be your first pocket out front. So, take your glue, whatever glue you've decided to use, it makes absolutely no difference. Just wiping my tip off here. And you're going to use that. Now, my paper is double-sided, and I chose double-sided paper for this because it's just easier. Now, you can do this with a book page, a big book page if you want. You can use this with multiple pieces of paper, which is what this one's done with. It was just done with scraps when I did it several years ago. It was just done with scrap paper that I had from a Christmas book. This is all just scraps of Christmas paper that I had laying around, and my base is a book page, and this is an envelope. That's an envelope that I just had sitting on my desk, and that's just a scrap piece of paper. Okay, so there's our first pocket. And you're going to open it up, and you're going to cut another piece of paper on the inside that measures, now I cut mine the wrong size, that measures 6.5, okay? And it needs to measure no bigger than 4 inches, okay? So you want it to measure 6.5 by 4. That's the largest that you want it to be. A 6.5 by 4. It can be 4 by 6. It can be smaller than that. Mine happens to be smaller than that. Mine happens to be a little bit shorter because I don't know how to measure. But that's okay. See, mine's shorter. But that's okay. But I want to put mine so that it shows up at the top like that. I want the butterflies at the top. Maybe. I don't think I like that now that I see it. So I'm going to scoot mine down. Now I like that even less. So I'll keep mine at the top. What's on the back? Oh, I like the gold better. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some washi tape. Let me move the book over here. You're going to take some washi tape. You're going to take some paper. Whatever you use to stick down and make your flips. Okay, I'm going to use this fabric washi. And you're going to find your fold. Now this has to be on the fold. Okay. And you're going to cut a piece the length of your page. You don't want it any longer. You want it the actual length of the page. Okay? Now, if you're not sure, 100% sure about the strength of your washi, I mean 100% sure about the strength of your washi, glue it down, because this gets a lot of wear and tear. A lot, because it gets flipped back and forth. Now, this is brand new, and I know that it's pretty strong. The one I made a couple of minutes ago, even though I knew my tape was, it was okay, I glued it. So if you're not sure, or your tape is maybe kind of, sort of, glue it down, because this little flip gets a lot of wear and tear. Now, the way I do it, I glue one side first, or I put tape on one side first, or even my paper, I do one side first. I pick this up, and then I will pick this up, and I fold it back, and then I line my paper up into the fold of where I want it. So I'm lining my paper up where I want it, and I'm sticking it down, because once it's down, it's down. Okay, and now I'm pushing it down, and you can even use your bone folder to make sure it's down all the way. Okay, and now you've got your flip. Okay, so now you've got that going to show on the outside. Actually, it's going to show that way. So now you need to take your bone folder, and you need to make sure all your creases are good and flat. Okay, now we need to start adding pockets. Now, if you've cut this a little bit too wide, your inside, you're going to be able to see, because it's going to interfere with that over there. Now's the time to trim it. Now, mine folds well, but I can feel that this is a little bit too snug. So I'm going to trim it. I'm going to trim it just a smidgen. So I'm going to start right there. It feels just a little snug. It doesn't feel horrible, but just a little snug. And that's about as crooked as Baxter's leg. So I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to try and straighten it. Now I can't guarantee it's any straighter. Well, it's not any straighter. How about we go for this? Sorry, Baxter. Let's see if we can make it straighter this way. Let's work on that. Oh, that's better. All right, let's try it that way. Oh, that feels better. That feels much better. It doesn't feel like I'm working really hard to close it. Okay, so right here, I have a little pocket, and then I have a little paper pocket, you know, just made out of book page. Okay. So I'm going to put a little pocket here. Now, I'm probably just going to use some of these scraps again. And I'm probably just going to use that little butterfly. And I might just put two little pockets there right next to each other. And I'm going to cut right between the butterflies there. Sorry, little dude, I just cut your antennas off. And then I'm going to cut one the same size out of the blue. See, this is truly, you can decorate it with scraps. Okay. Now I'm going to round my top corners. I think I'm just going to do the little baby round on them. You know, because the pockets are so small. And then I'm going to put them like this. I'm going to put that one there. And I think I'm going to put, now I have to remember I have that there. So I think I'm going to put them like that. Like that. So I have one up there and then one down there. So I get them right. I'm going to go on and put some glue down here and attach it to that one. Okay, so now they're attached. Now let's grab this. Now I don't think I'm going to put a thumb notch in them. I don't think that's needed. But I am going to ink it up just a little bit to take away that white cut mark that I just gave it. Okay. And it's, you know what, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just give it the little baby one. Just a little tiny baby one. Yeah, just like that. You know, because otherwise it looks funny. There. Okay. Now let's glue this down. Now I have to remember that they're actually pockets. So I'm going to glue there. And I'm going to glue there. Is that going to be right? I'm going to glue there. And across the bottom. Let's see. No, I don't want to glue there. Because if I glue across there, then that stops that pocket from being a pocket. Okay, so I'm going to glue down this side. Oop, just put my finger in the glue. I'm going to glue down that side. I'm going to glue across the bottom here and down that side. And that's all I'm gluing. Okay. And I'm going to bring it over here like that. Okay. Now, I probably should have glued across that bottom there a little bit. Now, let's test it. Let's see if I have any scraps here. I have a scrap here. So let's see. So now I can get in here. Oops, yep, I should have glued across the bottom there. So Let's see if we can lift this up. Nope, can't. So I do need to glue right here. Just right there. And I need to get right under here a little bit. Just right there. Okay, so you're going to need to glue just a little bit across your bottom. You're going to need to glue down your side, only to right before it meets that pocket. I didn't think that was enough glue. But sometimes you just have to work it out. Now on my flip here, I have a pocket, and then I decorated it with some washi, and I decorated this pocket with washi. So we can decorate, oops, where'd it go? We can decorate this with washi if we want to. You know, with any type of washi that we have, you can decorate it after you get your pockets on. Now this is our flip right here. Now I think I want to go on around these corners. Let's see, let's go this way. Just to make it look a little different. And I think on here, now you don't have to continually use the same papers throughout this. You can bring in other papers if you choose to, but you can use the same papers if you want. Totally and completely up to you. And you don't have to add pockets on this if you don't want to. Now, like on this one, like I said, this was just made with scraps. This side doesn't have a pocket. I just decorated it. But this side does have a little pocket, but remember, it's an envelope. So there's a big pocket right there. So you can do whatever you want here. Now, I think on here, because it's got butterflies, I don't think I'm going to do anything. But I do think I'm going to try and round. That's not going to work, is it? I'm going to round this corner, though. And I might maybe try with my scissors and maybe round this corner a little bit. And see if that helps keep it. Yeah, that's going to help keep it from poking in to that washi. Now, I'm just running this over it here a little bit to take off some of that white from where we've cut it. That's all I'm doing. Okay, so now on here, I think I just want to add, no, yeah, this side. Sorry, this side. Oh my goodness. Okay, on this side, I think I want to decorate. I want to use, what do I want to use? That is just a really good question, isn't it? Let's see what we have down here. We have butterflies. I know what we can use. Let's use our flowers. Let's see what we have here. We have some, oh, let's use this lace. Okay, that reminds me there of a little picket fence. Okay, so let's maybe cut that off right there. Okay, maybe it'll cut, there we go. So now we have that right there. Okay, and I think I want to maybe add some of our green to that. I'm going to use bundled sage. So let's put this up here, and now let's get our green. Here it is. I'm going to use the green on it, and I'm going to see if maybe if we add a little bit of green to it, just a little bit. Because it's just kind of hiding in that yellow there a little bit. There we go. That adds a little bit of color to it. Now let's see how that looks. Oh, yeah, I don't know if I like that any better, but it's better than brown. Okay, so maybe let's add some green back here. Okay, so I just took whatever was left of the green on here, Oh, now I do like that better. Okay. I like that a little bit better. Where did our... Oh, there's the lace right there in front of my face. Good heavens, Lori. Okay, so let's take maybe some tulips. And we'll put some tulips back there. Let's see, do we have any more tulips? I think we do. That's not a tulip. Goofy girl. And what's this? I don't think they're blooming yet, but they are in my garden. I don't know about your garden, but they're blooming in my garden. In my pretend garden, anyhow. And I know roses aren't yet. Let's see here. Let's see what else we have. We have some yellow. Is that yellow? No, that's not yellow. That reminded me when my son was little. And my husband we were trying to teach him colors. Is that the same? That's close to the color of that paper, isn't it? Here, I thought that paper was blue all along. Now, we might have to trim some of the stems on these. You know, because some of them are looking a little long. Maybe we'll build us a little flower garden. And, you know, we're teaching him colors. And he had a yellow Hot Wheels car in his hand. And my husband said to him, "What color is this?" And he said, "I don't know." And my husband said, "Is it red?" "No." And my husband said to him, "Is it blue?" "No." And, you know, we went through all the colors. And my husband said, "Well, maybe try, is it yellow?" And my son said, "It's not yellow." And my husband asked him, he said, "Why isn't it yellow?" He said, "'Cause I can't say yellow." So it wasn't yellow because he couldn't say it. And I just thought that was just the funniest thing. If it wasn't something he could say, it just didn't exist. Here's what I was looking for. I don't know what it is, but it's awfully pretty. Let's pull that pink one up there a little bit more. There's my pretend flower garden. Apparently, I don't have any more tulips. I don't know where they've all gone. They must have run away with the snow I have today. Yes, you heard me say it. Yes, you heard me say it. My goofy mountain has got some snow. And I don't know why, but the few tulips that I had are looking at me like, what the heck? It's like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You're the ones that bloomed. Okay. We went from 70s to 30s, all in a matter of 2 days. There we go. Now we'll have a little flower garden. And I think we're going to maybe fussy cut out one of those butterflies. Maybe 2 of them. We'll just zip right around them. Okay, let's get those in there and out of our way. Okay. Now let's get our little scissors here. I don't know where the little scissors are. Let's see. Maybe we'll take out one of these butterflies, 1 or 2 of these little butterflies. And put them up there with our flowers. I actually had bumblebees. I have some flowers sitting on my deck that I bought at the grocery store, and I had happy bumblebees. I was so excited to see them. They were quite happy. They were just munching away in the pollen, and that was exciting. Okay, I want to keep that little one because we're going to cut him out, but I got to get to this big guy here first. I'm not doing a very good job of fussy cutting here, am I? I'm just kind of ripping around him here real quick. These scissors aren't very good fussy cutting scissors. I don't know where my little ones went. Okay, there's that one. Now, where'd that little guy go? There he is. Okay. Now we have some butterflies in our garden. All right. Now let's see if we can get this cleaned up here a little bit. That's a little bit better. Now let's see if we can get this cleaned up here a little bit. Alrighty. There we go. Much better. Okay. Now let's put that away. Now, here it is. Now let's add a little bit of color to them. Now we got a little flower garden. We got some butterflies. I think we are going to trim off some of those little stems there. Some of these are a little bit too long. I think maybe that one. Bring it down here a little bit because our fence is going to be down there. I want that one up there. I want that one there. I want this one to remain tall. I want that one to remain short. And I want that one to remain a little tall. And that pink one back there to remain tall. Okay, so let's see. Let's get the tall ones in first, which I guess would be this one. So let's get this one in. Let's get this guy in right about here. And I think we're going to put, I don't know, do we not want, I don't think I want that one. I do think I want, how short is that? Okay, I want that one right about there. Oops, a doodles. Right about there. Come on, get off of there. Okay. Oh, now it's stuck to my finger. It's all wrapped around my finger. Okay. Now this one. I think I want that purple, right? Okay, so I want this tall one. Alrighty. I am really liking my little flower garden here. Oops. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. There you go. Little stink pot. There's the yellow one. Now I want this yellow right here between the pink. Just like that. And I do think I want this Oh, here's the other yellow. Now this yellow here is a short one, I do believe. Right there. Get off of there. Nope, nope, nope. You go over here. Right there. Oops. Well, you little stinker. Get up there. I went right there. There. Okay. I don't think I want the purple. That'll work. Now let's get those in there. And let's get that up there. Now for the butterflies. Let's see which ones of those we want. I think I do want the pink and the yellow. Which way does he go? I think he goes that way. Because he kind of matches the colors of the flowers. I don't think I want that one. And maybe we'll add this one someplace else. Okay, so let's get these things glued down. So let's add our butterfly. Is that right? Yes. I think I want him right in there. Now for this little dude, I think this is going to hold it. You know what? I'm going to go on and use my Fabri-Tac because I don't want this coming up. That goes there. And right across the little arches is where I'm going to put it. Just a couple of little dots. Okay. Now, I hope you guys tried and make one of these little flippy folders for in your journal. There. Because they sure are a lot of fun. And they can go in any journal. You can make them any type of... There. There we go. There's our little garden. Now let's take this over and get some of that shine off of them. Okay. Because they sure are a lot of fun just to use some scraps on and have some fun with. Now let's get the top back on this, because we're done with that. Okay, so now back here you can use that other, where did it go? Here. You can use your other triangle. You can use your other triangle you cut and either make another pocket back here, or you can put your pocket, you can cut it this way and then round it like up here and put your pocket in here, or you can bring it inside and you can put it in here if you want. Just make sure when you place it that you don't place it too close to your fold, because you don't want it to get into your fold right there. And you don't want it to get too close to this fold. Now, I think I'm going to put mine, I'm not sure where I want to put mine. I think I'm going to go on and put it on the outside. Now, these are meant to be glued down on the back. This back section right here gets glued down in your journal. See, this is glued down. The back section here is glued down. But you don't have to glue it down. You can always make it something that goes into a pocket. You can make it something that is free to roam your journal, you know, held in with a paper clip. You can send it in Happy Mail. You can, you know, pretty much do whatever you want with it. Let's see. This goes this way, and then I'm going to round that corner after I get it down. Or before I get it down, I guess. So let's round this corner here. Oh, well, that didn't work, did it? I'm just going to have to round it after I get it on there so I can make it match. Yeah, we'll do it that way. We will do it that way. Okay. All right, so, oh, where did it go? Oh, pulled it right off. I pulled it right off. Okay, so let's do this again. How about we do this one more time? Let's do this one more time, shall we? Now, right here where my corner is, there we go. Didn't pull it off that time. Now, you can decorate your pocket also if you want. You can put some lace on it. Like I could take and put some lace on it going this way, or I could put some lace on it that way going against the blue if I wanted. Just don't pull your pocket off. Okay, so nothing can go in these pockets yet until they dry. So let's get this stuff out of the way. Now, back here, I'm not sure what I want to do back there. I truly do not. But I know I need a pocket someplace. So, how about we put one over here, and let's make it a blue one. So, let's go on and put a blue pocket back here. Okay. I think we'll put a blue pocket back here. And let's go on and trim this off. Oops, I should have put my little notch on there. Now, if you have directional paper, make sure, you know, you've got your paper going the right direction. I didn't realize my blue paper was directional until after I started working with it. And I've got little birds on it that, you know, I always have to keep an eye on. I didn't realize that they were there until I started cutting my paper, and then it was like, uh-oh. So if I wanted to put a pocket here, you know, I wouldn't want to put another blue one. I could put another blue one, but I definitely don't want to put that one. So, you know, I could put a stack of pockets if I had some more of my butterfly. But let's see what I have over here. Oh, I have some of this. So I could put some of the gold in here. So I could make a small flip out with the gold. Or maybe, what do I want to put there? You know, sometimes these things just talk to you, don't they? They just tell you what they want. And this is telling me it wants 2 pockets. It wants a gold pocket. All right. right, let me cut this down to 4 inches here. All right, these are the pockets that it's telling me it wants. Do you guys ever just look at something and know that it just has to be a certain way? Okay, this is what it's just saying. I just have to be this way. Okay, this needs to be a little bit smaller. So let's just make you a little bit smaller. So you're not interfering with the fold. Okay, so there's one pocket, and as you can see, my notches are off-centered, which is exactly what I want. It just makes it easier to get things out of small pockets. They don't have to be lined up perfectly all the time. It's your book. You do things however you choose to do them, and I don't always like my notches to be perfectly straight because it just makes it harder to get things out. I got little chubby fingers, and my little chubby fingers sometimes can't reach everything. Okay, so what I've created is I've got a pocket here, I've got a pocket here, and I have a pocket over here. Now those pockets will be able to hold things like little tags, like little mementos. They'll be able to hold whatever I decide to put in them for whatever journal I decide to put them in. And right now we're working on 2 journals. Now this is going to close like this. It'll go that way, it'll go that way, and it'll go... Okay, so something is in the way now. Okay, so it's got to go that way and then that way because we put that down. Oh, I see what's sticking up here. This is sticking up. So we need to trim. We need to trim the edge of that off. There we go. Oops. Much better. So, I'm going to glue that down on my page. And most likely, this is going to go into our little blue after everything dries. There. This is going to go into the little blue. Here, I'll show you. It's going to go into this book because of all the butterflies. It's going to go into this book. So we just have to pick a page. Ooh, that's the perfect page. So let's put it on that page. Now, if you want to create a tie for it, you know, to tie it closed, now's the time to put it down. You can put it on the page and bring it around. I don't usually do that, but you can. And maybe the next one we create will do that, because I will be creating another one for Grandma's Attic. So, because this is such a heavy piece of ephemera, you definitely need to make sure that you have plenty of glue on it. And don't Don't mess around with it until your glue is dry. You have to let it dry. Okay. There we go. Perfect. So let me make sure that that is stuck down well. Now, there we go. And then we have our little flip. And then I can fill those pockets with all kinds of goodies. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. It's so nice having friends around the craft table. Just playing and having some fun and creating all kinds of fun things. I just enjoy it so much. So this is what would go in there. Or it could even go like that. And then down here, let's see, let's put something else down there. I would have something like that over there. And then over here in these little ones, have one there. And there. I'm so glad you came today, and I hope that you come back, and I hope that you play some more with me and create and fill our journals with lots of fun ephemera, because it's so much fun. And until I see you again in our next Ladybug Journal, ta-ta for now.